Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Semi-Pro. I am Dalton Barrett, and joining me today is Ewan, Daniel, and Josh, and today we're going to be watching a very special movie. We have not started it yet. We're going to be watching Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit on this episode of Semi-Pro.
My windows weren't closed. My bad.
So we're about to watch Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit. We're very excited. All of us are here today. It's a different crew a little bit. Me and Daniel have been here before, but Ewan, this is your first time on the show, so why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ewan Ward. I unfortunately know these guys, and I wish I didn't.
And
Cool.
I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah, we all been there.
Happy to have me. Happy to have me.
Yeah, so we're going to be watching Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit today, which is the best Wallace and Gromit movie. This is the first in our stop-motion sweep, which could just be two movies. Who knows?
This is the only one that's like an
It's like
actual
a
feature-length
full-length
film,
movie.
right? All the other ones are just like shorts, like 30 minutes at most, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit stan, so I don't.
Well, you should be.
You're about to be.
You're gonna be.
Yeah.
You'll all see. But yeah, I really want to watch Chicken Run. That's the only reason I agreed to do this. I don't know anything about this movie. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know if I'm going to hate it. I don't know.
You
But
will
we're
like
going
it.
to find out because in just a second we're going to come back. What's everybody's prediction for this movie?
Best movie of all time. 10 out of 10. Game of the year, whatever year. it came
I think
out.
it'll be very good, very enjoyable. I have distinct memories of watching this with my
Yeah,
family
I have
on Christmas Eve.
only fond memories of watching this.
I
as a youth.
have vivid memories of watching this in the fall of 2008,
In the fall of the Byzantine Empire.
in the fall of Wall Street.
Man,
Full
good
of-
times.
yeah.
All right, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to think about this movie, but we'll know in just a very second because in just a moment, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about this movie after we go and we watch it right now. All
You
right,
wonder why I'm
and
so
we just
depressed.
got back
With the Semi-Pro
from... All
podcast.
right, would you guys shut up? Welcome back. We just finished watching
I'm sorry, wait, what did you
Wallace
say?
and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and now we're going to talk about the movie. Initial reactions. The story was fine. Like, it was nothing super special.
Fine.
However, like...
Talk to yourself.
Visually, this was one of the coolest movies I've seen in a long, long time.
The craftsmanship and just general look of the movie was something very special.
Dan, you know this means right now that we're up against two British people. We have to fight for the patriarchy.
In a
We have
Wallace
to
and
throw their
Gromit.
tea in the river.
Wallace and Gromit off.
You can't say that, man. We're on a podcast.
Live?
But yeah, so what happened in this movie? What was the plot of this film? Someone explain.
Josh, break down the plot for us.
Josh, explain
Is
this movie
this
to
why we
us.
keep Josh around?
Yeah, this is
Pretty much, yeah.
around.
Because I don't drink, I'm the only one who's actually able to remember it some of the time.
I don't drink.
I don't
Yeah,
drink
but you've
either.
been around before.
None of us
now.
drink,
No,
Josh.
wait.
We're just watching a movie.
Yeah, what?
You're here, so I can just disappear off into the background.
Dalton's a pastor, and you're
Yeah,
suggesting.
come on, man. What are you implying here? God.
Well, to quote, man, Jesus did turn water into wine.
That's
Yeah.
right, he did.
But
So
this movie,
what's in this movie?
this movie is about the village in which Wallace and Gromit takes place, which I can't remember. I think it's Tottingham.
Hornsberry.
Oh, Tottenham.
Tottingham. That was because that was also the lady's name.
Yeah, the
Was-
lady's name was Tottington.
Tottington. Yeah.
But I think it's like, I don't know, modeled after Tottenham. It's something like that. And it's coming up on their annual giant vegetable competition,
Yeah, as you have.
which the entire town likes to get ready for. They like to compete in. Everyone's growing their fruit and veg, big and large. And we see that there is a trap linked to one of these vegetables that has been set off which launches the titular Wallace and titular Gromit into into action. They
Yeah.
fly down their stairs with some sort of health hazard where they slide
Well,
upon.
yeah, they have the whole like bat cave.
They got a bat cave.
I don't know that it's necessarily a health hazard. Like
It is a health hazard.
I'd wager that most things in the Wallace and Gromit house are health hazards.
Wallace, at one point, Wallace like pulls up on a pepper shaker and it launches down a giant hammer that smashes him in the
Well,
head.
no, that's pretty normal. I think.
Yeah,
That's-
I have one of those in my house. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you, Josh?
Man. What's your problem?
All the technology side of things felt very Thunderbirds
Oh
inspired.
yeah, Thunderbirds awoke some memories because I haven't thought about that in about 15
What
years.
is Thunderbirds?
Do you guys not have Thunderbirds?
You not have Thunderbirds?
Daniel, do we have Thunderbirds?
Maybe I don't
It
know.
was like a kid
Definitely
show
no.
that started off. You know Team America, World Police.
No. Never heard of Team America World Police. Not once in my life.
Team America. You lost me there too, Mr. Clements. I apologize.
Team America was like a big movie. I remember. Yeah, it was basically just like
whatever you say.
it was. It was like a load of puppets, and they were all rich people who were part of a secret society that would send out like high tech ships and stuff to solve problems. And that was Thunderbirds.
Brother,
They'd be like
Wallace
Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are go, and then they shoot off in their planes and their boats and their cars and stuff. It was great. Thunderbirds.
Josh, I'm
Big cinema.
convinced you're making this up.
There was a movie with Bill Paxton and Ben Kingsley that was made in the mid 2000s.
I've definitely heard this movie like referenced, like on
Probably
like,
by
some
me.
site or by Josh. Yeah. All right,
But-
so they got their whole bat cave set up.
They're all back out. They show off their feet for far too long for me.
Oh
to
yeah,
keep
there's
focused.
a whole sequence where it's just like really focusing on their feet. It's really
I
weird.
don't think it was focusing on their feet as much as you're implying. I think
No,
their feet were in like
They were
one
like
frame of stop motion.
rubbing their feet in front of the camera.
Yeah, I think at one point they were like licking each other's toes. I think Wallace said Gromit, it's flossing time, and they flossed each other's toes with their tongue.
They grabbed their socks and then slid it in between the toes and started wringing it out.
Yeah, into each other's mouths.
Yeah, I don't know. For whatever
You could see-
reason,
you could
despite
see
the fact
the,
that we watched
You
that
can see
movie
the
together.
flakes. You can see the flakes of the athlete's foot in Wallace's feet start dripping down.
Great animation. Great
Yeah,
animation.
great animation, great detail.
Visually
Absolutely,
great.
like,
yeah.
Visually incredible. But yeah.
My favorite part of all of these is that there's a certain point where like I have to imagine that the three people who listen to it don't know that we aren't
Yeah,
making shit up about the movie.
Yeah, the three people that listen to this are not the same three people that have seen Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the
That crossover in the the Venn diagram is very small.
Yeah, it's the one person that's just like, that's pretty funny.
Comment below if you got this far. And you're
Come on,
feeling
below, click
that's
like and
the
subscribe.
Remember to share this with all your friends. Ha, just kidding. You don't have any fucking friends. Listen to the Semi-Pro podcast, you fucking
You're
loser.
listening to a podcast where four guys talk about the plot to Wallace and Gromit:
Wallace and
Curse of the
Gromit.
Were-Rabbit. You definitely don't have any friends.
Oh, and a wife is out of the question.
Wife. God, you're getting about ahead.
Send this
this
to
to your
one
mom.
woman you've talked to, other than your mother.
Yo, Wallace and Gromit, they be flossing their toes with socks. Send this to your mom right now.
Man, I have so many fucking spiders in the corner of my room. That is freaky.
Oh, you need to call Wallace and Gromit.
Daniel,
Yeah,
Daniel,
they call it
Daniel,
anti-pesto.
I'm watching your cam right now. They're under your skin. They're under your skin. Get them out. Get the
No,
spiders out.
But the
Get the
reason that
spiders out.
Daniel,
Get the spiders out. Get the spiders out of your skin.
Ah!
Daniel, no. All right, Josh, what happens in Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit?
the reason
they-
Daniel would have
basically,
to
in
call
this-
Wallace Gromit is
in
because
this,
they are bug exterminators. In the
Right, they
movie.
are pest control. They are pesto.
They are pesto.
They're anti-pesto. They're
Anti-pesto.
anti-Semitic.
Which basically,
They are
which
thick
basically
fans.
means that they drive around a small village and catch rabbits that are eating everyone's vegetables, and then hoard them in some sort of rabbit slavery system.
They are
Yeah,
the SWAT
it's not
team that gets
slavery.
called.
It's not slavery. It's imprisonment.
Yeah, which I
Yeah,
mean,
but
to be
they're-
fair,
I
that's
mean,
it's like
like-
it's
like
a
camps.
fucking
It's like
if we're
camps.
No,
if
but
we're
it's-
being
it's-
completely
it's an
real, they're
animal
rabbits.
it's an animal shelter is all they're doing.
Yeah, they're
Like
rabbits.
that's all animal shelters
In
are.
a
They just
basement
keep animals
with
and
no
cage
natural light and the occasional one.
Well, that's most animal shelters. Most of them don't have any fucking windows.
Also, they're rabbits. Like they're rabbits that they kidnapped. They could have killed them, but they didn't.
Right, but that's the big, moral dilemma of the movie is that their antagonist is Victor Quartermain, who just wants to shoot rabbits.
Their antagonist, weirdly, it's actually Victor Von Doom from the Fantastic
Victor
Four
Von Doom.
comics. It's really crazy.
Who is also
Wallace and
Zach
Gromit
Braff.
will appear in Secret Wars.
Right. He's also played by Zachary Braff.
But he's not. He just looks like Zach
Right.
Braff.
He's actually,
Zach
played by-
Braff-
he's actually
Zach
played by
Braff-
Ray Fiennes, who I honestly thought for the longest time, because his name is spelled like Ralph, I thought that his name was Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah,
And
me
that, like,
too.
Well, no, because I had heard people say Ray Fiennes, and I always thought that was like some
Like
other guy. I was like,
pronunciation
oh,
thing?
is that? Well, no, I thought I was like, oh, is that Ralph Fiennes' brother or something?
Did you guys hear about that Adele thing where apparently people are like, she did an interview and she's like, yeah, Americans pronounce my name like Adele, but it's actually Adele. I'm like, what? What are you
Adele?
talking about,
That's
woman?
just wrong.
I don't care.
But yeah, no, her name is Adele, not Adele.
No, her
Adele.
name's Adele.
B. Cooper.
Also, Ray Fiennes' brother is Joseph Fiennes, just for the record.
Actually, it's Ralph Fiennes.
All right, Josh, the plot.
Yeah,
plot.
like,
Help
what-
us find
what
it.
happens in this movie? Come on, man.
The plot is that Wallace and Gromit go around trying to catch rabbits, stop them from eating people's vegetable in time for this giant festival where they all someone wins. Was it best vegetable prize? Where it's the
Yeah,
golden
it's a
carrot.
golden
It's a
carrot.
the golden carrot, and
That
they
does not look like a phallic.
they get
Yeah,
they get
No,
like
I mean it looks like a carrot. It looks just like a carrot. Unless you think carrots are phallic, then
they get
Oh,
called
man.
to Lady Tottington's manor because she has a pest problem. So they use the bun suck or whatever it's called.
The bun suck. Yeah, that is what it was called.
And it's like the bun vac or
It was
something.
the suck blowinator because it had both the suck and the blow option.
The bunny suck and blow.
Give me 5 minutes.
That's what they
I'll
called
look
me in
at
high. What?
that. What?
That's average
So,
Discord.
yeah,
admin.
so they're sucking and blowing.
So they get rid of all the rabbits by pulling them through the tunnels that they have dug and keeping them in suspended animation.
and in doing so, they suck up Ray Fiennes.
They
Zach-
sucked up
Zach
Ray
Braff.
Fiennes, who was trying to
His
shoot
his name it's
the
Zach
rabbits.
Braff. Quit calling him
Yeah,
Ray
well,
Fiennes.
first they suck up just his toupee, and then they suck up his big old chrome dome into their suckinator.
Because
Then
the
he comes out, and he's all
machine
covered in
for a
poop.
rabbit.
He is covered in poop.
He is indeed.
What happens after that?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
We
They
find
like-
out
Oh,
that
yeah,
Wallace and
well,
Gromit's
well-
home life isn't all great because Gromit is trying to get Wallace to stop eating cheese.
Right. Well, yeah. So he tries to he makes a machine, a brainwashing machine.
He makes the
evil
Batman
villain-
Forever machine.
Right. Yeah, the supervillain mind control device. And because he wants to use it on the rabbits to make them stop eating vegetables.
He wanted to use it on himself to make.
No,
Well, but
No, he
first
wanted
he's
to
using
use it on
the
rabbits first.
No, he
'Cause-
wanted to use it on himself first to
It
make
started
himself
with
like
using it on-
vegetables, and then he started using it on the rabbits to make them not like vegetables.
I don't think that's how it went. I think it was.
Yeah,
true.
because
That's how it went.
it was in the
It
kitchen.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I
It
don't
matters
care.
a little.
I don't care. I don't care about anything you say to me.
This podcast is
so-
about how much we care.
This is
Right,
your
you're
first
right,
time.
I
We
forgot.
don't care at all.
Most of
Okay,
the time, these two don't remember anything. Well, Daniel does. Dalton doesn't remember anything
I
from the
don't
movie that we
remember.
watched.
I don't remember a darn thing. So mind control machine. He's using it
yes.
on the rabbits to,
He may or may not use it on himself, but eventually he decides to use
and
it
it
on the
may or
rabbit.
may not also have at least some of the same components of the suck blowinator, like at least the suck
Yes.
blow
Not
option.
yet. It does later. They connect the suck blowinator to the brain control device.
Well, I think that's the part I'm talking about, though. That's when they're using it on the rabbit.
Yeah, but at first it's used while Wallace and or Gromit, I don't remember who is who,
Womit.
is eating breakfast, and the
Right.
dog wants to
Brekkie
give
has
the
it.
human
Well,
man
no, but his
vegetables
breakfast
for breakfast.
is just
but he doesn't-
vegetables.
Yeah, he doesn't like vegetables, so he tries
He doesn't
to.
like vegetables.
But anyways, so they're
Too.
using it on. They connect it to the suck blowinator, and they
Yeah. And then the rabbit.
they use it on Walnut, and he's telling them, he's giving them the sissy psyops. He's saying he's giving them the 1984 speech saying you will not eat vegetables, do not eat vegetables. Which I don't know what they expected, because what are the rabbits gonna eat?
Then you need to tell them that they're gonna eat like dirt or something, because they're just starving these
Like, I
rabbits.
don't think they can survive. Did you know? Fun rabbit fact. My mother has some rabbits. The fun rabbit fact: rabbits actually have to eat their own poop to survive.
Don't think that's true.
No, it is. I swear to God, this is the true rabbit fact. If they
That would
don't
have made the movie a hell of a lot better.
like, even if they get all of their required veggies, as they're called in this movie, if they didn't eat like enough, like it's a specific type, because they have like two types of shits. If they don't eat the specific one that has the nutrients, they'll die. That's a true rabbit fact. You can look that up on google.com.
I'm not looking that up. That's not gonna work.
But anyways, so the device malfunctions, or silly old Gromit with his dog
The
paws.
device malfunctions, and
He
one of the bunnies
accidentally-
gets sucked into
Yeah,
it.
well, he switches it from blow to suck, or from suck to blow. So instead of sucking Walnut's brain function into the rabbits, it instead pushes one of the rabbits into his brain,
and they
does a
merge.
little-
They become one.
The
yeah,
machine is powered by the moon. So
Right,
It's
that's
got lunar power.
I didn't even realize that. I was
That's why it's the were rabbit, because it only comes out at night because it's connected to the moon.
She
I
only
get
comes out
it.
at night. Watch out,
She
boy.
only
She'll
comes at
eat you
night.
up. Oh,
And then-
here she comes. She's a man eater.
Comes the next morning.
What if I stabbed you to death?
the next
Whoa,
morning?
whoa, whoa, whoa. No.
So yeah, what happens next, Joshua Clemens?
Well, the next morning is then kind of going about their business again. Wallace kind of navigates having to falling in love with the Lady Tottington.
Totty,
Totty
as
to
she's
me.
called.
Right, Totty.
Totty.
However, yeah.
Except for when she's mad at him. That it's
And well, yeah,
Lady-
but that's because
Lady Tottingham to you.
It's later on.
that's because they failed. Because as we find out later that night, the were rabbit comes out in full force.
No resistance barred.
We see the town preparing all their giant veg. We see Gromis collecting his.
You said veg like they say in the movie. It's
He's
actually
got-
vegetables, for those of you who don't know.
Gromit's growing a giant marrow in his garden.
Which is a cucumber, for those of you who don't know.
No, it's a zucchini. It's
It
a
is
zucchini.
part of
Hey,
a,
you a zucchini.
it's part of the cucumber zucchini family. It's its own thing.
It's not. You're making that up.
It is.
You're just trying to be
Good
British or
word.
something.
Come on, man. Just call it a zucchini like everyone else.
Nonetheless,
Give them what they want.
we see the church pastor is preparing his. He's got a bench full of fruit and veg.
Vegetables, for those of you who aren't in the know.
And he notices a poor soul, and he's like, "Come in. This is to share. This is yours." And then he dies.
Just
He
for
gets
my good.
eaten by the
He
were
did
rabbit.
not die.
He
They
doesn't
didn't
die.
kill him.
he gets.
He eats all those vegetables, and it's a lot of great shots in that.
There's a lot of really good.
pissed.
There's a lot of really good visuals in this movie.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the whole like horror sequence, like before they actually reveal the were-rabbit, which isn't till like at least like a good 45 minutes in, I feel like.
Yeah, and take about 30, 45.
The
Yeah.
score
Yeah, that's
by
kinda what I
Hans
said.
Zimmer, by the way.
Yeah, but Hans Zimmer scored this movie. This
Hans Zimmer
film.
scored this movie.
Yeah, just by the way, this is
Which I
a
guess-
real film we're talking
This is a
about.
legitimate.
This
It's
is
got,
a
it's
movie.
got better. It's got better visuals than most movies I've seen recently.
I didn't
Yeah.
notice the score, which makes it a good score. Like if I notice the score, it's probably bad because I'm not super into scores. So I didn't
I was
notice it.
actively listening for it because I had written down Hans Zimmer score. So
Oh,
every now and
homie took notes. It's his first
Fucking
time.
nerd taking
again. I want to make it.
Oh, this guy wants to be professional. This guy
I
thinks
remember.
semi-pro or
This
something.
guy wants to be a semi-professional or something. Who does he
I
think he
remember when
is?
Dalton. I remember when Dalton first suggested the podcast, and we tried to take notes, and how far we've come since those days, where we
Yeah,
now just.
I remember when I started doing it. I think I took notes like one time. and
I
that
took
was
them like a couple of times, and I think
well,
that's it.
I took them a couple. I took them because first we weren't watching the movies together, so I took
Right.
notes for those. But even then, the notes I would take, it would just be like two witty observations, and that would be it.
It would be-
Well,
If
yeah. When
If
I was
if I was stuck with plot breakdown, I'd just like Google it or something.
Right, exactly.
well, we
like,
also used to watch the movie the night before we'd record, or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we watch it seconds before.
Like yeah,
and,
literal moments before.
and the podcast gets a lot more unhinged because we spent more time around each other.
Dalton, why do you keep putting that in your mouth? And what is that?
Just for the record, Dalton and Daniel have their cameras on. Dalton, for the entire time that we've been recording, has had his feet in front of his camera, has been sucking on multiple
Putting
things.
in his mouth. It's been so hard to ignore it.
I was trying so hard. I'm trying to be professional.
Oh man. Okay,
He's
so
the-
where are we at in the movie?
Yeah, where are we
the
at,
town,
Josh?
The town is at the church trying to figure out how to deal with
Oh well, yeah.
with
Well,
their
that's
rabbit.
there's great shot where Pastor whatever
Pastor
he
Jimmy.
passes out. Oh yeah,
Reverend.
Pastor Jimmy. Reverend. Who cares? Shut up, church nerd. So he passes out, and there's like I don't know what they used for their claymation like drool, but it looks friggin' fantastic.
Yeah, the liquid in this movie for a solid looks
Yeah.
so incredible.
Yeah, no, it's
Everything in this movie just looks
every single
fantastic.
thing
Yeah,
in this movie looks
just looks
mind-bogglingly
incredible.
It's also got genuinely good like cinematography. Like there's a load of shots where you know the pastor will be ranting about the were-rabbit, and then he'll point and it will snap zoom through like a wall where he's jumped through, and there's a silhouette of him now.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah. Big,
Love
big
it.
fan of that.
Beautiful.
But yeah, the town's like, how do we deal with the were-rabbit? And JD from Scrubs is like, we could just shoot it. But Lady Tottington is a pacifist and she doesn't like violence, so she's like, no, just let the anti-pesto
Yeah,
deal with it.
she really likes animals. That's established that she likes the bunny wabbits, so she doesn't.
Yeah,
She
so
wants
she's
to
like,
have
hey, let
intercourse
anti-pesto
with the
deal with it.
were-rabbit.
Right. I get
Uh,
it.
And anti-pesto in their infinite wisdom, they
The
say,
SWAT team.
the SWAT
Right.
team, they say, what if we use a trap?
What if we use a really
A
big
big
trap?
How do we catch a really big rabbit? A
Yeah.
really, big, trap.
and everyone in the room starts
Everyone
clapping.
cheers.
Completely unironic. They just
Everyone
start-
stood up and
they
clapped.
hoist him up. They crowd surf him out the exit.
I love this movie. There's a load of really good visual jokes, like a policeman with one of the old timey like mad hats who takes it off and it's just his
And
forehead.
his head is just the same
His
size.
head was so large.
There's
There's a,
Alec.
you see
a scene with
you
sexual
see
innuendos around fruit and vegetables.
yes,
and the
yeah. At
rabbit.
one point, Lady Tottington. Well, we'll get there. Let's not jump ahead.
Yeah,
Let's-
let's
I
keep with the plot,
apologize.
you know.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Keep it professional.
At one point, we
Keep it
do see the
semi-professional.
we see the
I
side.
get it.
That's the name of the show.
At one point, we do see the door of Wallace and Gromit, and it says "SWAT Patrol," and it's like a fly swatter. Love it.
At one point, you mean very often. It's on their car.
At one point, you can just catch a glimpse of it if you're looking for it. It's a very subtle joke, very low key.
Right.
So the next night out, they have their big trap. Their big trap is a giant female bunny attached to the top of their van.
Right, that was a setup.
Yeah, it's gonna come back. Just keep
Keep
watching the podcast. Don't turn it off, please.
Keep listening.
We need the 3 cents that we're gonna get.
Yeah.
We need the retention.
We need this money so I can dock Josh's pay.
to operate this giant female rabbit, Wallace has enslaved Gromit and forced him to dance. So he dances as the rabbit before going through a tunnel and getting stuck.
He does a sexy little dance.
He does a little seductive show.
Yeah.
Show.
He was doing like the cabaret dances.
Yeah, he has a button just for winking. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
he knew.
I think it would have been funny if instead of that he had one of the little ropes like attached to his eyelid with just like a fish hook through his eyelid.
it's like it just cuts to. It's like when Flapjack or SpongeBob would just cut to a close up, and it's like grotesquely real underneath the eyelid.
Right. But it's still claymation though.
It's just a frame from A Clockwork Orange where he's Anyway, the rabbit gets cool when the van goes under the tunnel. So Wallace gets out and he's like, "Oh, get it, Gromit." And so he starts, he walks through the tunnel and he disappears off into the night.
Josh, you're British. Your impression should be way better than that. It sounded like you were an American doing a fake British accent.
I think that was pretty good.
So Gromit sits in
At
the car.
least I schools.
At least I saw schools.
Yeah, he wanders through the tunnel. Gromit like dozes
Gromit's
off.
just sitting there. He's chilling.
He's jerking off in the van.
And doesn't a load of fruit and veg start landing on his car because he's outside Rare Bits' house or something?
Oh yeah, the giant carrot comes down. Not an actual giant carrot, like a giant carrot that's like a sign.
Yeah, it's a giant sign for Harvey's.
The vegetable shop.
Yeah, the veg shop.
The veggie shop.
It's a very vegetable-oriented town.
It's a very vegetable-oriented movie.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
There's a lot of veg.
Yeah, quite a bit of veg.
So after this, we get one of the sickest chase scenes I've ever seen.
I must say, it's like
True.
it rivals Fast and Furious.
Yeah, Fast and
I'd say
Furious
it
wishes.
it puts Fast and Furious to fucking shame. That's what it does.
He lassos onto the Rare Rabbit using a lasso machine, and gets dragged underneath the earth through a giant tunnel.
Which is one of the best looking shots in the movie because they use like real dirt or whatever.
And it was like so fucking realistic looking too.
Yeah, it was wild.
It looked great. This was another one where the effects really stood out.
There was so much passion in this movie, and it just all comes through.
So much passion in Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
It's true though. Like there genuinely is.
We disagree. We've disagreed on this, but this movie is what Chicken Run wishes it could be.
Nah, shut up. We're gonna watch Chicken Run next week,
we haven't
you'll
watched,
see.
We haven't watched Chicken Run yet. I
Don't,
haven't seen it.
Hey,
in a minute.
no Chicken Run slander. That's the one I'm nostalgic
At
for.
least not until after we watch it.
Not until we watched it, and then we can slander it.
No, I remember Chicken Run.
I think Chicken Run's good from what I remember.
Yeah,
I get the free reign to shit on it because I won't be here when we watch Chicken
Plus,
Run.
hey,
plus, right.
Mel Gibson was in that one, and he was also in Daddy's Home too.
Yeah. What do you say?
He was. I forgot about that. Man, that was a good movie.
Yeah, we should watch that. Let's stop this podcast.
You know what else is a good movie? Wallace and Gromit. Curse of the
Wallace and
Were-Rabbit.
Were-Rabbit.
Hey, speaking of that, What else happens in that movie that we watched and are talking about here on our podcast?
They don't catch the were-rabbit, and then people get mad at them for not catching the were-rabbit.
So they decide to go catch the
Oh,
were.
right.
no, but this is the tense scene.
And
This
they
is
come
when
to a realization.
this is when Gromit gets home and he sees the giant poop footsteps walking into his house.
Yeah.
He puts on his little detective hat.
Yeah,
does.
he pulls out a Sherlock Holmes pipe and hat combo.
Like a deer stalker.
a rabbit stalker. And he walks in, and it leads them to the bunny that was attached to Wallace earlier in the movie when he was trying to do his mind control thing. And they're like, "We've created a monster." And the rabbit just be sitting there.
His name is Hutch. Yeah.
And they're like, "We've made a monster," and the rabbit's just like, "Hey, how you doing?"
He goes, cracking cheese, Gromit.
He sounds just like Wallace, but he's a rabbit.
Right. He goes,
Slightly
"Cracking
higher
cheese,
pitch
Gromit."
because he's a little rabbit fella.
Yeah, so he got Wallace's personality. He adopted a personality, just like me, for real.
He's literally me.
So they board him up into an even bigger like cage.
Well, they think he's
It's
the
the cycle
were-rabbit.
with a bigger
'Cause
cage.
they think he's the were-rabbit. But all of this is in vain, because once he gets out, that's when Gromit realizes the truth. That the rabbit footsteps lead straight into Wallace's room. He has been sleeping.
Shocking twist.
He has
Epic
been
concept
sleeping.
for-
He's been sleeping with the were-rabbit.
Right.
Yes. What?
Hey, yo.
It's such a well done twist, you know. I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming.
Didn't see it going.
I saw it going.
Yeah, I
By the
definitely
end of the
saw it
film, I'm
going.
still not sure that it was Wallace.
Yeah. The movie is ended, and
I think it might have been Hutch the whole time.
I will say, as never
That'd be
having
a
seen
great,
this
like-
movie before, it was a great twist.
That'd be a great like post credit scene. Is Hutch transforming into the?
But he fuck.
It's like the first dream.
But he still has Wallace's personality.
Yeah, he's still like he's a
Instead of going
giant
after-
hulking rabbit.
Instead of going after vegetables, he just goes after cheese, and he just goes cracking cheese, Gromit.
That's what the post credit scene is. It's Hutch transforming,
Yeah.
like running off into the night, and then there's a sign. It pans over. Giant cheese
It's
festival,
Cheese Town.
Wensleydale, 500
Yeah.
miles that way. Oh, that's the sequel. That's the sequel I need.
Man, we should be working for the Wallace and Gromit creative.
Kevin Feige, we're available.
Yeah, okay, Kevin Feige, if you're listening, hit us up. We
You're
could plan out the entire Wallace and Gromit cinematic
I
universe
think-
for you.
The
I think that DC made a mistake by hiring James Gunn.
Yeah, I think
they
they
got,
hired us.
they got a real master plans right here. What does happen after that? Oh, this is when the best
He goes,
innuendo of the movie
cracking
happens.
cheese. Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah, it is.
Wallace,
You're right.
Wallace goes to visit Tossie at her manor, and she shows him her private garden,
Yeah.
Oh.
which is literally her private garden on the top of
This
her
is
manor.
the scene where
It's
there's a
fucking-
lot of
it's
innuendo.
absolutely beautiful.
And
Like,
yeah,
it's
it's great.
garden.
Creative.
Gorgeous.
This movie, I think I should have watched this movie more when my brain was developing and less when it had all developed, because then I'd probably like vegetables more.
Yeah, this movie makes me want to garden, and just so I can have a garden like that on like a fucking penthouse.
So that I can
So
fuck
anyway,
the were-rabbit.
she took her to his penthouse, and then she freaked it.
Freaked it. And she turns around holding two comically large like watermelons, and she's like,
Right.
Victor never cared about my produce.
Right.
And
And
he's
Wallace decides to care for her
But
produce.
yeah, Wallace cares about her melon.
and he just stands there staring at the melons as she holds them out.
Well, first his jaw drops to the floor and his eyes bulge out of
And
his
his
jaw.
eyes bulge out, and his
He goes,
tongue goes out like a red
"Awooga!"
carpet.
And
Steam.
he makes a train engine sound.
And his steam starts blasting out of his ears.
Right. His face turns comically red.
What is it that she shows him that like sets him off? Is it her giant carrot?
Carrot.
Yeah, with the giant carrot. Yeah, because
Which giant
I don't know if you got it, but because he is like he turns into a giant rabbit, and she had a giant carrot, so it was like a. I don't know if you got that. It was pretty.
Like
That was pretty
kind of a meta bit.
yeah, it was pretty
Yeah, it
meta.
was very
It was a
meta.
pretty meta bit, yeah.
The carrot
Yeah.
was like a fit
You
size.
need to like
I thought
really
when the movie made a comment on the Berlin Wall and the takedown of it during Gorbachev's
Yeah, I thought their take on Nazi jokes deep and subtle, and that's not even a joke.
Many things in this film can be attributed to wartime Britain.
It really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gromit is looking out for his mate, and he sets off the fire alarm to stop him from nobbing on her.
With a
carrot.
cracked shot, he throws like a
What
little
is-
little baby carrot or
Gromit-
something.
Gromit multiple times in this movie is like he's a
It's
fucking tank.
insane. Dude is like a
He's a
superhero. That shot, that is like fucking
always the ones
bullseye.
that can't talk.
He threw a carrot with enough force to turn a metal faucet spigot.
A valve.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like that was
That is
wild.
crazy. That is
If
crap.
you
you
ever
ever
try to
done this-
turn one of those, they're so difficult.
Yeah.
Like, they're tight.
It's
And
like
you did it with a
rusted.
carrot, and he just chucked that shit with enough force.
Hey, editor, put some footage of that in.
Editor.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll get right on that.
Hey, Ewan, you want to start editing these for us so we can put them on YouTube and have
Hey, I don't fucking
more
mind.
content? All right,
We'll
cool.
we'll pay you
All right,
an exposure.
you can stick around.
I'll stick around.
Yeah, you can
yeah.
stay.
Yeah, we'll let you stick around now that you're pulling your weight.
This is the scene. This
There's
is the
no
big
scene.
scene.
There's no big scene.
No, this is the big scene.
There's
this
not a
is
scene
where
in the Josh. There's no scenes in this movie, dude.
It's not true. You imagined it. It doesn't exist.
Wallace
You're crazy.
and Gromit are on their way home, and they get diverted because the road's blocked, only to find the road is blocked again by a tree.
They're led into an ambush.
And I think
much like many troops in World War II.
is this the first time we actually see like the full shot of the were-rabbit?
Yes,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
'cause
this is the money shot.
Transformed?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
This
He
is the
gets-
big reveal, which
Wallace-
we already knew, but
Wallace gets
I
out of the
didn't know.
movie.
I mean, yes, I knew because they said it earlier. in the
right,
movie.
they,
Yeah, my
they,
fault.
sho-
My
they
fault.
showed it. They showed it.
Wallace gets out and tries to move a giant like tree log, like he's Kratos, just by picking it up and just like tanking it.
Well, yeah, but then he did move it. 'cause
Robert, stay in the car. Let me handle this
He went sicko Hulk.
He went sicko mode.
Yeah, he went
went
sicko
Spartan
were-rabbit
Raid.
mode.
He went
He
Spartan.
he gets what was it? JD from Scrubs catches him with an axe and pins him to the tree.
Yeah, he pins him by his suspenders, and he tries to.
And he's
run
like,
away.
he's like,
he
"Hey,
bounces
you
back.
You trying to get my woman?
Are you trying to get my bird?
Right.
You're trying to steal my bird. And he tries to punt. He tries to square up and throw.
yeah, he
Like,
does.
he takes his jacket off, and he starts like shadow boxing.
He does like
And
he
when
does
he
like the
Square-
old timey strongman like pose.
Yeah.
Put him up. Put him up.
Queen's
Oh,
move.
stick him up.
He throws a punch and gets launched onto the car by Wallace, who this is the big reveal. No one would have guessed it. No
Yeah,
one.
big twist.
I would not have guessed it had they not mentioned it earlier.
Had they not deliberately set it up? Yeah, no, you're right.
I did not pin a main part.
I've seen this movie before, and I was caught off guard by this scene.
Right.
They show Wallace like transforming into the were-rabbit. It's actually it's so well done because I don't know how they did it.
Like especially considering it's all like claymation, stop motion animation.
I have to assume
It's
there was
pretty
some CGI.
There
I
there
have
must
to
be like a
assume.
little
Yeah,
bit.
'cause it sprouted hair and stuff.
Yeah. But like for the most part at least.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
This movie
a
was
great scene.
2005, by the way.
2005.
That's
man.
crazy.
It,
Movie
it,
is
look,
old as me.
it looks absolutely phenomenal. It also looks like it's
Wait, did you
genuinely-
just say you were born in 2005?
No, he said
No,
that's when this movie was born.
I thought he
so
said.
that's-
I thought he
it was-
said this movie's as old as me.
Hmm.
Nah, not me.
Yeah, no, that definitely not as well.
You
as
ain't got proof of that.
Uh, the
But yes,
transformation scene is actually like it's also
like
kind of
Incredible Hulk like transformation scene.
it's actually kind of
It,
like
it shows it
Halloween.
has another foot shot, which I really appreciate.
It does. It lingers on the foot, and it
As,
shows
as
every.
the local foot connoisseur, I really appreciated them
It shows
pandering to you with that
every single hair sprouting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just the local ferret connoisseur.
And then he jumps off into the night, never to be seen again.
Yeah, and that's the end of the movie.
That's it. The movie ends. He gets shot by Quatermain and he dies.
He gets poached.
What is he? Do they just go home after that and they like?
They just go home.
Well, yeah, I think Gromit goes home and then he like finds Wallace in his bed with a bunch of vegetables or something. Or no, he does the little what do you call it? Like the little bat cave mechanism, and he drops him into the kitchen, and he's got the bunny ears.
Yeah. No. This that's after the scene where Victor, who's like, "Oh, you are the it's you, Gromit. You're the curse of the were rabbit."
It's you, Gromit.
And he goes to the pastor, who apparently like he this has happened before.
So and not just were rabbit. He's got a whole book. I think
he's got like.
One of them was like a were crow or something.
Yeah, I love that bit, like were cow and stuff.
Oh yeah, I wonder if those were potential sequel setups.
Probably. They should have saved that for the after credit scene.
And that's what it should have been. It should have been like, hey, we need you guys' help. We've got a crow infestation. And he gets 3 golden bullets, which is apparently the only way to kill a were rabbit.
Yeah, that's common knowledge, I think.
Yeah, I think so. For sure.
I think most people know that by now.
I appreciate the joke that it's 24 karat gold.
I like that.
I get it.
Then we cut to the next day, and Wallace has bunny ears, and Hutch has Wallace's personality, and he just walks around the house going, "Cracking cheese, Gromit."
It's like he's just watched American Psycho for the first.
It's like he's watched Wallace and Gromit.
He's literally me
first half
watching
of the
Blade
movie.
Runner.
Yeah. What?
This is also the most based part of the movie, where Totty comes over and she's like, "Hey, you're not doing well with this whole thing, and you're also acting really weird." And
He's like, "Yeah, and also I have feelings for you." And she's like, "Oh, well, never mind that."
he's like, "Please don't," and then shuts the door.
He says like, "Oh, you don't have to do that."
And then his were rabbitness causes him to look out the window and go and then run away.
I didn't get that. Like, is that a rabbit trait or something that I'm not aware?
I don't think so. I think it was just a joke that this movie made.
Oh yeah, I guess
That's just Wallace's true feelings coming through.
Right. That's all it really did. Was
The
released.
were rabbit is just his truth if Dalton's winning.
Yeah.
I think we're gearing up towards the third act. It really, it's
exciting stuff.
The
I
third
like to call
act
it the first
kind of
act.
came out of nowhere, right? Because it didn't really feel like the movie was winding down until it was.
Well, it goes from being a werewolf movie to King Kong.
I'm just watching Daniel comb his hair.
Yeah,
Might I say, just ladies and gentlemen at home, if you're still listening, which you aren't,
They're not. They
long
quit a
gone.
long time ago.
no one is listening.
Daniel is looking incredibly handsome. Let me describe this fucking godlike.
The Riz. Describe the Riz.
Imagine, if you will, a mob boss in a diner in the 1950s.
with like a switch comb.
Daniel has taken my spot as the handsomest man on the podcast.
I mean, and
As the handsomest man on the planet.
he's got this like black and white checkered turtleneck.
He's
It's
got the- he's got the-
it's houndstooth actually. It's houndstooth. It's actually houndstooth.
He's got the benefit from Fallout New
It's
Vegas.
actually I don't know if you know this about this turtleneck I got on, but it's actually houndstooth.
If any of our
actually-
talented watchers,
It's actually
are
digital. It's actually digital houndstooth. Yeah,
like-
go ahead and draw me based off of that description.
and tweet it to @Unity on Twitter.
Yeah,
YOUNIYY.
right.
Close friend
For
of the podcast.
for a chance to get your art featured on the next episode of Semi Pro Podcast of the Semi Pro Film Show, and we're back. All right, so what happens in this movie? Hey, what the dog doing?
My dog just walked in my room, and I don't know how he got here. My door was closed.
No, your door was open the whole time. Somehow your door's closed now, though. After he walked in.
Huey
Thank you.
Lewis, what are your thoughts on Wallace and Gromit?
Huey Lewis, everyone, let me get a big hand for Huey Lewis in the news. Thank you so much for being on.
We had a round of applause.
This episode is not making it there.
No, we're not. We are
we're not
definitely not publishing this episode.
We are not making it out the hood. Ain't no way.
All right, Josh, we're at about 45 minutes. Go ahead and finish this one off.
Yeah, what happens in this movie? All right, we get
Wallace-
to the Nazi Germany plane.
Wallace is running towards Totti's Manor, which is where the big festival's happening. In the meantime, Victor detains
Victor Von Doom.
Victor Von Doom detains Gromit, who gets out with the help of
Locks him in a
Hutch.
cage, and Gromit starts crying profusely.
Yeah, he starts literally crying, but he can't make
Gromit-
any noise because he doesn't have a fucking mouth.
Gromit
So he
gets
just
detained by Hutch.
silently cries in prison. But
and then
he-
Hutch
he
comes to free him.
comes up with the genius idea. He chucks another it was like the handle to a shovel, and he throws it and activates one of the gnome traps that they have in all the people's gardens.
It was set up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good setup. And then that wakes fake Wallace Rabbit Hutch cracking cheese out of bed and plops him right into the truck, and then the truck he drives right into the cage, sets him free.
And so he runs off to the festival to try and catch Wallace, who is climbing. What's he do? He's eating everyone's vegetables.
He's doing the King Kong thing. He's got the lady, and
He
he's
picks up
climbing he's climbing
Totty
through the-
because Victor wants to shoot him, and she's arguing. He doesn't like that, so he picks her up and carries her up the top of the manor. The guy selling gardening supplies switches to a mob supply store
right.
real quick.
Big fan of that little bit.
And then Wallace gets over there, and they have I don't know what they are. It's those rides at fairs where it's just something that spins around. It's a little plane thing.
Plain coin ride.
Yeah, everyone knows them.
Yeah, you know.
And
the
he
thing.
gets in one, and he breaks it off, and he starts to use it to fly away. But chasing him is Victor Von Doom's dog.
Well, yeah, it has the sick I don't know what it was they went up, but it was like the little spiral launching station that they go off.
Like a lighthouse kind of thing.
Yeah,
it
something
was
like that.
definitely. Zach Braff's dog had a lot of part to play in this, though.
Yeah.
Right, well, Zach Braff's dog is chasing him in another plane that's modeled after the Nazi planes from the war.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure it even had a swastika on it. I'm
No,
definitely
it had
making that up, but
it had the Red Cross.
Yeah, it was that.
It was not modeled after a Nazi plane. This was a Nazi plane.
It wasn't that.
Yeah, it just was one. But yeah, so he's chasing him across the roof.
In a British war.
Right, and so they're going around the what is it called,
The manor.
yeah, but then the outside bit of the roof, what is that called, the
The
chalice?
outside manor.
Yeah, they're going okay. So they're going around the outside manor. And at some point he Walmus was Gromit
They're going around the outside. manor.
he does the most cracked thing. Gromus is just so cracked in this movie because he grabs onto a pipe and he swings around
And
a
the
sharp
Nazi
corner
dog
of
flies
the
off.
Yeah, and the Nazi dog's plane goes flying, and there's just a giant explosion, like the biggest explosion. Like I don't think there would be an explosion that big from a real plane, much less from like a child's toy plane. Like it's a big boom. Let me
massive.
tell you.
I love it.
So they're like, oh no, a Nazi dog's dead. And he
But
keeps going, and it's like at this point it's like cutting back and forth to other,
it's
rabbit
Wallace,
happenings.
It's Wallace on the roof trying to outrun Ray Fiennes,
Right,
and then Gromit and the dog having a fight. And the Nazi dog like picks a spade up from one of the
Philip. That's
Philip.
the
He picks a spade up
name.
from like a statue
Y'all,
and
real
starts
quick.
strangling him.
I forgot to start recording.
I'm gonna kill you. You're not. You're joking.
Now that's a joke.
You're doing a fucking bit.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Could you imagine though?
I'd probably kill myself right there, right then and there.
That happened last episode for everyone who's
'Cause,
listening.
yeah, that
who's
was
never
like- that
listened
was-
before.
Because that was too far in for us. Like I would go to bed. I wouldn't reset. Like that's
Straight up, I would have just gone to brush my teeth.
yeah.
But yeah, so Philip is choking out.
Yeah,
Gromit.
they have an epic battle on the moving plane with the little like gardening tool thing.
But,
Which, hey,
but then
common
the
theme,
plane runs out of
gardening.
battery.
This movie's all about gardening. That's a common theme. Well, yeah, because it's a little coin operated machine. It runs at a coin time, and they have the funny little gag where they stop their fight and they're both
They have to look through each other's purses to make sure they have enough coins.
Yeah, no, I liked that.
One of them, they explicitly show that Philip the evil dog has
a
a
coin
purse.
purse.
And it's a
coin
comic.
purse.
It's like a comically like ladylike, grandma coin purse.
It's a
But
bit
it makes a point of not showing where
It came
Gromit
from. Yeah.
where he pulled his coins from. It begs a lot of important questions.
But there's some unanswered.
Some things that we may never know the answer to, and
It was
we
his
may never
butt.
want.
They
to.
came out of his butt.
It was his butthole. So he pulls the coins out of his butthole, but he doesn't. He just has like some buttons or like a dime or something. But then Philip pulls out
Zach Braff's
the-
dog.
Zach Braff's dog named Philip,
A Nazi dog.
who's also maybe a Nazi or perhaps has Nazi affiliations, or maybe he just liked the color red. Maybe he's not political, but he pulls out his little grandma purse. Actually, I don't think dogs can see red.
I just said that.
Huey, can you see red?
I don't listen to you when you talk.
Huey, can you see red?
Okay, so
Live dog on the pod.
anyway, so he's got the
Raw
coin.
can see red.
He puts the coin in the coin deposit hole on the machine plane. And it starts up, and instantly, as soon as the plane starts moving, they start fighting again.
And he gets kicked off and dies.
Dan,
Yeah,
when
right.
did you take over the plot breakdown?
I'm doing pretty good, aren't I?
Yeah,
You're doing
yeah.
This is what happens when you do.
It shows him. It has another great shot of just him flying at the camera with his comically large open mouth, and his big old dog teeth, and then he lands on the bouncy house, and it right after it was inflated, and it deflates because his big dog teeth punctured it.
Editor, overlay some footage of that.
Editor, pull that up. Jamie, clip that in.
Jamie clipped that.
Hey, someone clip that.
This is the big climax because Gromit grabs onto a flagpole and swings around onto the roof.
Actually, that already happened.
Just as Victor
bad.
Quartermain has loaded the golden carrot, the last remaining piece of gold.
Why do you keep
24
calling?
karat
Why do you
gold.
keep calling him by his real name?
His name is
Like,
Zach Braff, Josh.
Yeah, we've never done that. We've never called a character by their real name.
Because
And the character with the most
Especially a
ridiculous
character-
name.
Especially someone who looks that much like Zach Braff. You just call him Zach Braff, dude.
Named Victor Quartermain. Like, why is that easier for you to say?
I like the name Victor Quartermain. I think
Well,
it's a
you
nice
shouldn't.
name.
Change that.
His name is
Oh,
Zach
British,
Braff, Josh.
Anyway, so Zach Braff loads up the golden carrot, the 24 karat golden carrot.
The last
Haha,
piece of 24 karat gold left.
right.
And he loads into a blunderbuss and shoots it at Wallace. He's hanging on to he's hanging on like King Kong.
Which is sort of a theme in movies we watch, in that it's happened twice, which isn't a lot of times.
Do you mean
but
in
it's
this
a
and
little
in
weird.
King Kong?
No,
The movie
it
King
also
Kong that we
happened in
watched?
Garfield 2: A Tale of Two Kitties. So
I literally do not remember anything from Garfield 2.
Yeah, when did Garfield get shot? What?
Garfield
When
didn't
did
get
Garfield
shot.
get shot?
Remember, what's his face? Who's Garfield's owner?
John.
John
Yeah,
Arbuckle.
John Arbuckle. He's got the big blunderbuss gun at the end of Garfield 2 and he threatens to shoot the bad guy. It was like the
think-
one memorable thing from Garfield 2.
I think-
Right.
Jones writing some kind of Garfield fan
That did
fiction.
happen. I feel like I do very vaguely remember that possibly happening.
Yeah, no, that was like the big thing that we took away from Garfield 2 is that John Arbuckle was strapped up.
Yeah, that may have been the case. I don't remember much.
Oh,
from
this
that.
is the part. This is the most unbelievable part of the movie. Gromit.
Oh yeah, he outruns the bullet in the
Gromit in
little
a
kid-
in a
the
coin operated
coin-operated
plane outruns a bullet.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty believable though.
Not
I
once, but twice. He twice outruns a bullet in one spin.
You're right.
He does.
Bro,
'Cause
it's
he goes
cracked.
down
Yeah, he
the
spins
road,
around,
goes down to Wallace.
and
to
he
say bye to him.
he flies. He flies in front of it, catches it, and then high fives Wallace, which leads to him
well,
flying off.
Well, it hits his little toy plane, which he can just tank. That toy plane can just tank like a giant carrot shot out of a blunderbuss, basically like a fucking cannon. But yeah,
But they can't land.
oh yeah. But then he can't land because he ran out of coin power, not because he got shot with a carrot, but because he ran out of coin time. So
Hate
then,
it when that happens.
then Walnut does the big sacrifice jump, and he catches him King Kong style, and he lands in the big the crackers and cheese tent, which cushions his fall.
At the same time, JD from Scrubs looks down upon him and is going to kill him again.
Zach Braff.
And then Totty gives him a concussion and pushes him off a building.
Yeah, like he should be dead.
He was
Realistically, he should not be alive.
done and dusted.
He died multiple times in this movie. He also gets thrown into like a candy floss machine at one point.
Oh yeah,
It's just like an
cotton candy machine.
octoplet. There's like 8 of them around the town.
How did he end up in the female like?
I don't know,
rabbit
but Josh,
uniform?
you gotta speed this up just a little bit. We're almost out of time.
They push it, so I'll take over. I can talk faster than him. So he pushes him down into the cheese tent, and then he's like knocked out because he's got multiple concussions. He's just dead. He's
brain dead at this point.
And because he's unconscious, they put him in the rabbit suit. Gromit sends him off, and Lady with the Cheeto hair goes, "Hey, see how you like it." And then
they murder him. They stab him with. There's one lady in the mob who has a chainsaw.
That is true, yeah. So then Wallace isn't waking up, so they're like, "Oh, Wallace, wake up! Gotta wake up!"
Wallace,
And
wake up! I don't like
What if I killed
this.
you? What if I killed you? What if I killed you? What if I killed you?
They wait.
So they wake him up. Yeah, they put a big thing of cracking cheese right in front of his nose, and he wakes up. And that's
Because he likes cheese again because they cured him of the were-rabbit.
because he's not
Yeah.
now he doesn't like
Well,
vegetables.
nobody cured him of the were-rabbit. He just
Well, no,
somehow
they
miraculously
killed
got
the were-rabbit,
cured.
but they saved Wallace.
Yeah, sure. Who cares? It
And
doesn't
then all
matter,
the
'cause
rabbits
this
go
movie-
to a nice farm. To
Well,
live
yeah.
out the
Then
rest of their life.
then Lady Totty is like, "I'm going to be so
Really,
lonely here."
They go right back to where they started from because it was
Right,
their
right.
property.
They go back to being happy
could've
before they interfered. With
Yeah, I
their
could have just kept the rabbits there. But I guess because the big veg fest was over, they could bring the rabbits back.
It's funny because that's what British people call vegetables, and I'm convinced that that's what they all call vegetables because of this movie.
It is. You should base all your foreign policies on Wallace and Gromit.
I think we should base our governance systems on Wallace and Gromit.
I think
I mean, in the UK, we basically are because we hired someone who couldn't outlast a piece of lettuce.
I think we should
Yeah.
taste a turkey for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up.
New governing system.
Happy Thanksgiving to all my semi-pro listeners. Let me get someone in the comments. If you're listening to this on Thanksgiving, let
Like
me
and
get a
subscribe
turkey
and share this on Facebook.
if you're
with your friends
still
and
listening
family.
to this podcast after we've rambled on for
No.
59 minutes on Wallace and Gromit, if you're still
After
listening.
after me, Dan, and you and rambled on, you've just sat there sucking on your microphone for the last hour and a half.
You have not said a word this entire podcast.
You spend your entire time in this podcast sucking on random things in your room and putting your toes up in front of the camera.
You've been on your phone and sucking on your microphone stand more than you've been talking.
Nah,
I don't want to hear a damn thing out of
I don't
you.
want to hear a damn
Look,
thing about
I say a lot of words. I say many words.
I say many word. I say
I don't want to hear a damn thing about we unless you're speaking French.
All right. Fellas, what do we think of this movie? I love this movie. The story was fine. I still think.
Yeah, I mean the story realistically, it wasn't anything to write home about. Like it wasn't an Oscar award winning in
I think it was.
I mean, it was perfectly fine. Like it was a compelling story. I remember being very, very invested emotionally as a child, and almost equally invested as a grown man.
Yeah. The main reason you watch this movie is for the beauty and just animation of it all.
The visuals are what's really
it's
special.
fucking gorgeous. Like
I
it
don't
is,
want
it
to
is
be
beautiful.
peak stop motion. Like
Yeah.
every single
Yeah,
frame
I
is
genuinely
gorgeous.
don't know that I'll ever watch a stop motion movie in my life again and think, man, that looks as good as Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Except for the stop motion animation films we'll be watching for next week's episode of Semi Pro Film Show. Make sure to tune in next week to
Like
listen
and
to us
subscribe and
talk-
share on Twitter, Facebook, and all of your favorite social medias.
Listen to us talk about
Share us on LinkedIn.
Chicken Run, starring Mel Gibson.
Next
The
week we are
anti-Semite.
going to be watching. We're going to be watching Chicken Run.
Mel
This was Wallace
Gibson
and
doesn't
Gromit.
like Jewish people.
This was Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I had a very fun time. I thought the movie was
I
great.
thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
I had a very fun time as well. Thank you for having me.
You're not
Yeah, you're
welcome
welcome.
back. We
You'd
don't
be-
want you
you'd
to
be
ever
so-
come
you'd
back
be so
again.
lucky.
I'm sorry that we had you here, Ewan. I'm sorry you had to
I'm
endure this.
sorry we put you through this
I'm
endeavor.
sorry that you have to go through this.
All right, we'll see you on the very next episode of Semi Pro.